Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Dr. Hasi, and today's topic is um, labs, BSc 1011 labs, starting with fungi, seedless vascular plants, um, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. So we start with lab 9, which is fungi. We know fungi from mushrooms, the best example. So mushrooms are the most well-known fungi probably. Um, so you should start always with the chapter 9, lab 9, definitions and vocabulary. So make sure that you know the basic vocabulary. So there are seven phylums under this fungi. Basically, we are gonna go over each phylum, and just one specific mushroom, which is Agaricus bisporus, is about $24 billion economy in the US. So you can tell the importance of this chapter. So there are seven phylums. Here are some basic backgrounds on each of them. Okay, and their pictures here you can see. So phylum number 1 is Ascomicoda. Asco Ascomycota is also called sac fungi. There are 30,000 species of Asco. One of the most well-known representative species is yeast, which is involved in beer and wine production. Ascospores, they use, Ascomycota use ascospores, and they develop asci from them. Some other examples are truffles, mildew, which is a disease on plants, and molds. Some molds are in this group, Ascomycota. Yeast is specifically important. So yeast is, if you mix sugar and yeast, actually it can be used to produce beer, wine. Um, baker yeast also can be actually used for flour dough, and when mixed with the sugar, it produces carbon dioxide bubbles, rises the dough with a spongy structure. And all, so this is another use. So there's a lot of use of yeast in food and beverage industry. Phylum number 2 is Basidio Vicoda. This is also called club fungi. Basidio Vicoda, there are 25,000 species. They're cultivated mushrooms. Agaricus is under Basidio. So most well-known one, like white button mushroom that Agaricus bisporus that you can go and buy in the grocery stores. So they are cultivated mushrooms, most popular one in grocery stores. They are protein rich, vitamin B rich, selenium rich, and vitamin D rich. There are some other ones like oyster, shiitake, portobello, maitake, and lion's mane, some other examples. Phylum number 3 is Citridio Vicoda. These are also called citrids. This is a small group with 750 species. They are mostly aquatic decomposers. They have flagellata for movement. Phylum number 4 is called Deutera Vicoda, which also means imperfect fungi. 25,000 species. Common green molds and brown molds like Aspergillus is under Deutera Vicoda phylum. Penicillin, probably most well known under this, which is the antibiotic that kills bacteria cells, actually discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928. Phylum number 5 is Glomero Vicoda, which is sac fungi. There are only 160 species under this. Now, Glomeromycota, all the mycorrhiza fungi works with their plants in the soil. They are in this group. 90% of plants have some interaction with relationship with this fungi. Phylum number 6 is Oobicoda, which is also mean egg fungi, double O. So there are only 500 species. There are some diseases. There's fungal diseases. they are under this group, like Phytophthora infestans, which cause potato blight, which is also known as Irish potato famine, and Phytium, which causes dumping disease in plants. Phylum number 7 is Zygomicoda, which is bread molds, like Rhizobus, and one group which is not under this, but it's called lichens. This is a combination of algae and fungi with 17,000 species. So again, it's both fungi and algae combination. So this is lab number 9, and lab number 6 is seedless plants, also called seedless vascular plants. So let's go over seedless plants. This is second group of plants that we've seen after bryophytes. So they are a little more advanced than bryophytes. They are seedless. Ferns and fern allies, most well-known seedless plants. Okay, so that's why there is here a fern life cycle you see in this picture, in the seedless plants. So some phylums that you need to be familiar with. Phylum 1 is club mosses, which is also called Lycophyta. Okay. Phylum number 2, Sphenophyta, which is horsetails. Phylum number 3 is Xylophyta, which is whisk ferns. And phylum number 4, the biggest phylum, is Pterophyta, basically ferns in this group. Fern is the most well-known, again, phylum here, with their fronds, which is their like leaf-like structure, with their heart-shaped gametophyte, you can see here, and having sphonostele type of stele. Whisk ferns have protostele, but ferns have siphonostele, more advanced. Some of the oldest plants also are in this group, and seedless vascular plants. The extinct phylums like Cooksonia, which is 420 million years old. First vascular plant we know from the fossil records is under this group, Rhiniophyta. Okay, so and please study the life cycle of the fern and study the other details of the ferns as well. Now, next group is Gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are cone-bearing plants. There are tallest plants, biggest plants, oldest plants are all under this group. There are 4, and I'm talking about living plants. There are 4 phylums under this group. The most well-known feature of Gymnosperms is having a cone, like a female cone and male cone. Okay, they also have seed, but they don't have flower or fruit. Okay, so there are 4 phylums. Phylum number 1 is Cycadophyta, cycads. Phylum number 2 is Ginkgophyta, which has only one species, ginkgo. Phylum number 3 is Gnatophyta, which is like Ephetra. And phylum number 4, most well-known phylum under Gymnosperms, is Coniferophyta, with 500 species. So pine, fir, cedar, juniper, redwoods are all under this. This lab only covers Coniferophyta in terms of drawings and microscopy. So just remember there are 4 phylums, but we focus on mostly on Coniferophyta phylum. Okay. So now with this Gymnosperms, we switch from spores to seeds. So now there is the discovery of seed here in this group and next group of plants. Embryo covered with an endosperm, and testa, which is seed coat. Okay. Now the next is lab number 8, which is angiosperms. Angiosperms are also flowers, which basically most typical part is the flower. The flower, as you see here, has 4 pieces. SPSC, sepal, petal, stamen, carpel. Sepal is that green leaf-like structure. Petal is this colorful part of the flower, like yellow, white, orange, red, which either bird pollinated or insects or bee pollinated. And then stamen is the male part of the flower, and carpel is the female part of the flower. It's at the bottom, has also ovary and ovule. Ovary later becomes fruit. Ovules become later seeds of the plant. So flower always goes fruit. And if the flower is simple, fruit can be simple. If the flower is complex, compound, fruit can be compound. So, um, and we have two classes under this Angiosperms. There is only one phylum and 250,000 species, two classes, monocots and eudicots under this group. And monocot has more less number of petals in the flower. Dicots have more number of petals, 4 or 5 petals in their flowers. Um, so you need to study the flower parts, monocot versus dicot, fruit types. Also make sure to check types of fruits. Again, simple flower can also make simple fruit. Make sure to pay attention, compound fruit types, and then examples to fruit types and some species examples to these fruits. Of course, pollination and fertilization is part of this flower as well for reproduction. So the rest of it is actually your work and going to lab and drawing all the slides and also reviewing all the specimens and then making sure that you cover all and in your PowerPoints from the lab and then complete the lab itself. So thank you for watching and please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel Dr. Asi Explains. See you next time. Take care. Happy studying with the material.